and welcome to Stories by Grandma. Parts of my story today were written by Maudine Shanks for the History of Fentress County by the Historical Society of Tennessee. Bertha M. Crockett, known as Bertie, was born December 19, 1892 in Scott County, Tennessee. She was the fifth child of Robert Washington and Minerva Jane Crabtree Crockett. She is a third cousin 2 times removed to my husband Ted. Bertie grew up in Jamestown, Tennessee. It was here, at the age of 19, she began her long career with the telephone business, which was almost synonymous with Bertie for some 46 years. Her telephone office affiliation spanned from December 12, 1912, until her retirement on April 30, 1958. It is important that you know the history of the telephone company, which Bertie was a part of for so many years. When early telephones appeared in the 1870s, they were limited to communication between 2 users. First used by companies, the telephone soon became an instrument of daily life, allowing people to reach other people at a distance. One element at the center of this technological improvement was the telephone switchboard. This invention acted as a hub for all telephone activity. It allowed the connection of 2 or more subscribers without requiring direct lines between them. The invention of the switchboard created an opportunity for women to enter a new sector in the workforce. The image of the young, beautiful switchboard operator with a melodious voice quickly emerged. 2 factors can explain this development: the phone companies and Hollywood. Indeed, telephone companies decided to use women as switchboard operators in order to make them the front facade of their businesses. Their attitudes and images were therefore highly controlled. On the 28th of February 1923, 9 years after she started working with the phone company, Bertie married John Elmo Wright, and she left the company for about 3 years. During this time, the couple had a daughter, Maudine, born in 1925. Shortly after Maudine's birth, Elmo returned alone to Colorado. Sometime later, he and Bertie were divorced. Bertie and Maudine remained in Jamestown, and when Maudine was 9 months old, Bertie again became a vital part of the telephone system, where she served as switchboard operator, cashier, and local office manager for the Twin Lakes Telephone Cooperative Corporation and its predecessors until she retired. She saw her switchboard grow from 18 telephones in 1912 to more than 700 telephones in the modern dial system in 1958. Bertie was always a bright spot and had many interesting and entertaining stories to tell about her experiences in the telephone office. She often talked about the many phone calls she received for Sergeant York when he returned home in 1919. Also, she remembered vividly the World War II years and the many problems she encountered getting messages through to servicemen via the Red Cross, and a laugh was always forthcoming when she recalled her experiences with the local blackout drills. After the war ended, many of the boys who returned told her how much it meant to them to hear her familiar voice when they called home. Bertie served the people of Jamestown and Fentress County long and well and became somewhat of a legend in her own time. She is fondly remembered as a dedicated person who befriended many people and who provided a great service as a communicator. She willingly did what she could, and whether it was trying to find a doctor for someone needing one, opening the doors of the telephone office at any time, day or night, to people needing to make calls, relaying messages over noisy, unusable telephone lines, or sending messages to people who had no telephone via their neighbors or messengers. These are only a few of the numerous ways in which she went the extra mile to be of service. Bertie was a longtime member of the First Baptist Church of Jamestown. Her home in Jamestown, her family, and her many local friends were very dear to her throughout her long life. After she retired, she spent the winters in Clinton, Tennessee with her daughter. Uppermost in her mind each winter was returning home in the spring. It was very symbolic that her final homecoming was in the spring of 1986, when she died on March 27th. She is buried in the Fentress Memory Gardens at Jamestown, Tennessee. I don't know how many of you watched the Waltons growing up, but this story reminds me of when Aaron worked for Fanny Tatum at the Walton Mountain Switchboard. The history of the telephone switchboard I found on the Wikipedia website. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Goodbye.